Man, man. Only thing I'm gonna say here. Nah. All right, that's better. That's much better. All right, you see the title. You know, when people talk about the RP, obviously I'm talking about red pill awareness. The whole blue pill versus red pill thing. The only thing I can say is, um, you know, there's a stigma. People think that your RP awareness starts when you get your heart broken or stuff like that. Um, or they get into a divorce and they lose people and a man loses his kids. But when you actually ask the people when it started, um, it's a lot of different situations what happened to a lot of people. The reason why I put this in the title is because when somebody that I knew that sorry somebody that I know, basically he had his RP awakening. He didn't even really realize it. He was talking about how he was like, man, Chris, he told me, man, when we were working at Bowtie, like, yo, these IG thoughts they be on the dark side. They be really he was the first one to tell me that. And it just hit him that basically, nobody's safe. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, what I was trying to say during that time. It's not just the IG models. It's everybody because it's a global marketplace. And like I said, I would tell dudes if you want like look at the average girl's DMs, even if you don't think she's cute or if you think nobody's checking for her. If she's on IG, best believe there's some dude in the DMs. You'd be surprised how many like even if a girl only have like 1,000 followers, you'll be surprised the blue checks in her DMs, bro. You know what I mean? But back to me on back to me on my RP awakening moment. It's not for me getting my heart broken. I'm not saying it never had been, but that wasn't the moment. You know, when everything started making sense. And this is not just about dating. This is about just life in general. So when it comes to my RP awakening moment, it was really being on campus, on a college campus, and seeing how shit really goes down. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing that up close and personal. That was really that whole experience. But I can say I guess the moment was basically we were in the room. Um, in my dorm room. It's all athletes, right? So I guess one of the dudes had, I guess, two girls over, and I was in my room playing video games or on my laptop doing what God knows what on my phone because I wasn't part of it. I'm in my room. I don't smoke. So this dude brought in two girls, right, to smoke, and I was in the room by myself because we have the living. And our dorm room was pretty big. We have the living room, and then we have like two separate bedrooms full of bunks, and then we have like a kitchen sink area, kind of, you know, which is the main hallway, which has also a sink, and then we have like a separate We have a bathroom in our room. Yeah, we had. It was not fancy, but it was pretty dope room. So they were in the living room smoking. Mind you, we don't know. It's only two of the dudes that we know in our room. It's uh it's four of us, or no, it's five of us boys in total. It was two of them in the room with those two other girls, and they were smoking. Now, one of the girls, I guess, were not experienced with smoking, so she started throwing up. So she threw up all over the hallway until she reached the bathroom. And meanwhile, I don't know what's going on until I start hearing whatever. She's throwing up, mind you. I kid you not. She's in the bathroom with her head face first in the toilet, throwing up for, I guess, yeah, I think yeah, for 2 hours. I kid you not, for 2 hours straight. She's just her head in the toilet like this, and we're just basically looking at her. We're basically you know, the dudes that was with her. They're cleaning up everything. Meanwhile, her friend that brought her over is doing absolutely nothing to help. Absolutely nothing to help. Then at the end, she's still dizzy, still throwing up, still in the bathroom. Mind you, we had to anyone I had to use the bathroom basically. So I went in there. I'm like, "Yo, you good?" All right, I'm gonna just use the bathroom. And she's just still throwing up, right? So at the end, you know, my roommate started arguing. She's like, "Yo, this is your mess. We can't keep her here." And it was just funny because the girl that brought her here, she's like, "I gotta leave." I'm like, "You gotta do what? You brought her here." She said, "I gotta leave." I was laughing when they told me what was happening because now everything started making sense to me. How these college athletes get in trouble with all these girls in the room, and then she passed out, and then she wake up, and then she said something happened to her. So basically, we were basically put in like a terrible situation. Either just put her out and just hang her to dry, and then something bad happens to her, it's gonna be on us, or we keep her in our room, right? Hopefully, when she pass out, she feels better in the morning. But if she says anything happened to her, we're all beat. So we're put in a terrible situation because our safest option is probably to be, hey, call the emergency room, let them take care of it. But somebody's gonna get in trouble for weed. Somebody's gonna get in trouble. So we're put in a lose, lose, lose situation, especially since the her girlfriend that she brought over here, it was her responsibility, but she knew that all I gotta do is leave and I don't gotta take care of it. And that's when I found out most girls that be hanging out with each other, they're not really friends at all. They don't like girls don't have friends like that. They girls don't really have true friends. That's what I found out too. But everything started me. I'm like, now this is why all these college athletes get in trouble. It's like it's everything started making sense to me. That was really my awakening. I just did not realize because that after that day, I really started looking at not just ladies in general, but I just started looking at everybody sideways. I'd be like, like you could just drop me like that, like a bad habit, or you could just put something on us where we're in a lose-lose situation. And I knew what was gonna happen. Like, say if she wake now, what ended up happening was she ended up just passing out. The dude that brought them over there. He had to put her on the couch. We had to all sleep in separate rooms. We was like, "Oh, she has the whole let her have the whole living room and just have her on the couch by herself, away from everybody, because it's just a terrible situation." And like I said, my roommates were good people. Because honestly, I would have been like, "Look, look, I knew people back in the day, they would just throw the girls out when they start passed out, when they was passing out. And I used to think that was evil. Nope. You gotta protect yourself. So she's on the couch, whatever. She was fine in the morning. She woke up and she was straight. And then you know what's the cream, the cherry on the top of that story was? Oh, apparently she remembered me because she was telling her friends that I said like more than "Are you okay?" I was like, "Wow." I was trying to use the bathroom and you was there, and I said, "Wow, well, I gotta go." And she just added some extra shit to it, and it came back to me via via somebody that I knew. I forgot if he was on the soccer team or not, but I was like, "Wow." After you do all this, meanwhile, I'm in my room. I don't even know what the hell is going on until somebody starts throwing up. That's when I found I was like, that was the first time in my life. I was like, wow, these hoes ain't shit. That was really the first time I was in college. That was the first time in my life I was really like, what? I'm talking about for real. I was like, wow. Like that was my first like, wow. And that's what basically led me to, then it's weird. Then you start going. Then like after I remember after that day, I was going on YouTube watching some old Patrice O'Neal clips, and I'm like, man, he was. it's not just jokes. This is like this is some real shit. This is how you gotta live life. You gotta be a savage. Like that's gotta be you have to be RP aware. I'm not saying you have to, people talk about whether it's an ideology or a praxeology. I just believe every man has to be RP aware. You have to know the true nature of man, the true nature of woman. You know, even though RP awareness is mostly about dating, and knowing the true nature of a lady. But I think you need to be RP aware just in your life in general. You can't count nothing out because at the end of the day, we're all man and we're all susceptible to anything. You know what I mean? So that was really an experience where I found myself in a situation. Meanwhile, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party with nobody, I don't do nothing. And I could have gotten in trouble. All of us in that room could have just gotten in trouble had she just decided to wake up and say, "Oh, we did something," because she could have done that. And you know who would have been in the front of that headline on the newspaper? My ugly ass face, right? It would have had me like this, and it'll be like, "Oh, I knew this guy was creepy. Look at him." I would have been beat. All of this was going through my mind during that time, and because I'm saying, yo, she needs the emergency room. She probably needs the emergency. Oh no, because now if we kick her out, oh, who was she with last? Then we the bad guys. Okay, we got to keep her in. Now she says something happened to her. We're the bad guys. It's a lose lose. That was really that was the eye opener for me for my RP awakening. You know what I mean? So that was I used to be like, why my mom be like, yo, don't let people into your car. Know who you hanging out with. Do this. Don't just let random people. Don't eat from random people. Don't smoke from. I used to be like, man, she tripping. Or my dad will say that, um, old school Haitian. I'm thinking, but nah, there's something to that. You know what I mean? That's when everything started making sense to me. And I tell that story all the time, and I'm afraid to tell that story because if that girl, I'm afraid that I still afraid that that girl's gonna be like, oh, something happened, even though we made sure she was in a whole separate place by herself. All she got to do is say something. Oh, I feel funny, right after. When most people just call the emergency room and just let her out to hang. You know what I mean? But that was interesting, not just on her, but her friend that brought her there and left her with some random motherfuckers that she do not know. And I think they were still hanging out afterwards. I was like, how could you hang out with somebody like that? That will just leave you in a room with strangers after you're throwing up and passed out. And her best excuse was, yo, I got class tomorrow. And in my mind, I'm like, bitch, we got class too. But we got to take care of the mess. And then I could explain a situation like that, and motherfuckers will still come up with an excuse with the lady. That like I said, that made me like really look at things like, wow, you gotta be RP, you gotta be RP aware. You gotta be RP aware because a lot of the people that you bring into your life, especially ladies, they can be massive liabilities. And you can say all this stuff about, oh, Chris, you don't get no bitches. I could have gotten in trouble. I don't hang out with nobody. All of us could have gotten in trouble for that shit. All of us. And I feel like I would have gotten the brunt of it, in my opinion. I know that could seem a little bit selfish because I'm thinking about myself because I already know what this looked like. Because motherfuckers is gonna just look at me out of all the roommates. Oh, you did something. Meanwhile, I'm in my room, like I'm in my room. I don't have no idea what the hell's going on. My room is locked. My door is locked. It'll just be me and my boy in that room that shares the room. But me, I was in there by myself. I don't. Well, I don't. I think my roommate was in there with me, but it was doors locked. I don't know what the hell's going on in that other room. but they're smoking, right? And this bitch was lying, acting like she could smoke, and then she smoked it, and then she started throwing up. That could have fucked up my whole shit. If all this bitch got to say is, "Oh, I feel funny. Oh, this nigga did this." That's all she got to say, and we're all fucked. Yeah, and motherfuckers could talk about, oh, like, oh, that's because you don't be getting. No, 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 no. I could have gotten in trouble for no reason, minding my own business, and I know I would have gotten the brunt of it. I know how this shit works. So yeah, you can't just have anybody around you, bro. Especially when it comes to ladies, because they'll, especially if you got like some kind of clout or some status, or if you have something really to lose, a lot of dudes be having these girls around them, and it might look cool. I swear I'm not a hater, but those are it's like it's those are liabilities around you, bro. Just straight liabilities. Men can be liabilities too. But the thing is, like, at least because when something happens, a man's gonna have to face the consequences of his actions regardless. After that happened in my room, the girl that left her there didn't face no backlash. The girl was not, she don't even have no shame about the shit that happened. And try to create a little other extra story to make me look bad. Like a little bit. Just to see if she can get a little W out that situation. Meanwhile, I'm in my room minding my own business. That's what brought me down this path. That's when now I really start looking at everybody equally. For real, for real. Actually start looking at everybody. Anytime, like I always tell people, man, anytime a girl tries to send you off to do something, oh, he did this to me. Please investigate. Please investigate, man. Look what happened with the Will Smith Jada thing. Any girl that you saw that supported Will Smith, you, if they tell you, "Oh, this dude did this to me," "Oh, I was at work and he was a little touchy," he said a comment. Do your investigation, because I swear, 8 out of 10 times when you do your investigation, you found out both of them was on some bullshit, both the man and the woman. So that was my RP awakening right there. So you got to watch who you got around you, man, because like I said, people that know me know, especially in high school, I just be by myself. I'll be minding my own business. I'll be in college. This Chris, you want to? Nah, I'm good. Chris, you want to? No, I'm good. That's all I did. Not necessarily because I was smart. It's just I don't have that thing. I don't like hanging around people that are not my friend. And hoes ain't nobody's friend, bro. I don't know why they can't get this thing in their head, especially after that incident. I'm telling, like, hoes ain't nobody's friend, bruh. If they around you, it's because you could do something for them, whether you're just a ride home or you got some money. You're there to be used. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that situation. But it was interesting how my boy called me about this. Basically, his RP awakening was basically watching that video about what the IG models be doing when they go to Dubai on those trips, being shitted on like a porta potty, or you know, doing sexual favors for those rich guys' animals. It's just straight and craziness. That was basically his RP awakening. I know a lot of people's RP awakening was when Aisha Curry was on the Red Table Talk talking about she still need attention from other men. That was a lot of people's RP awakening right there. And they don't even realize it, but that's how that's I didn't realize it at that point, but that was the start for me. When I talked about that situation, even though that was really the whole college experience, being on campus was a RP awakening thing. Another people's R I remember a lot of people's RP awakening Oh man, I just blanked out on that, but yeah, it's a lot of circumstances, man, that leads to a RP awakening. But yeah, that's my story about that. Hopefully, I was kind of concise. I was kind of all over the place, but yeah, if you see those people get in trouble on TV, just or you see people, do your research, do your investigation about what happened. Because all I gotta do, most of the time you can just read it and you're like, oh, this is what happened. This is just some bullshit that they trying to put on somebody. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's it for today. I'm probably gonna do another stream after this.